Diablo 3. We have that mic, which we can pass through the rows, and there are two other mics over there where you just can go and ask your question. Please do so in English, as we have a lot of international press. If you're German and need some help, I can translate that for you. Thank you. All at once. So maybe I go with the first question then. Jay, from Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, Diablo 2 we had crafting, Diablo 3 you introduced the Artisan feature. Why did you feel the need to change that?
Well, the crafting elements that were in Diablo 2 were fairly simple, and there wasn't a lot of, this is a fancy word, but there wasn't a lot of fidelity to it. So we couldn't visualize things very well. We really wanted a system where you could see yourself getting better, and we wanted a system with a lot more diversity. So with this system, we can add all kinds of abilities. The Mystic can enchant items and can identify. The Jeweler can combine gems together to make them better, and can also de-gem items, so you pull gems off of without destroying the item or the gem. So you don't have to be afraid to socket your items anymore. And anytime that we basically find a feature that we, has to do with manipulating items or enhancing or customizing items, it's really easy to just kind of add them onto the Artisan. So that was why.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions from the audience?
Yeah, thank you. Will Diablo 3 be region locked to Europe and North America, like StarCraft has?
Will be
region locked?
Region locked. I don't know. We haven't really discussed that yet.
And can you have multiple artisans at the same time?
Yeah, you can gain all three artisans. You can level them all up. You tend to focus the way they're kind of tuned in the game now on the one that is most appealing to you. But if you continue to work on them, you can get them all fully upgraded. One of the goals of the system was we didn't want, Diablo is a cooperative game, but it is not a game where you have a lot of reliance on other people, and so we want to keep it cooperative. We don't want to make you really dependent. So because everyone can have every artisan, you don't have to go to other players specifically to use their artisans or acquire items from them. There are cases where you might want to do that because they might have really good recipes, but it's not like some MMOs where you're really seeking out a very specific crafter to get something. You can pretty much acquire it yourself if you work on it.
Thank you.
Hello, Jay.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. The most important question, I think, is what's the release date? Please?
Would anyone in the audience like to answer that?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
When it's done.
Please. We came here only for that.
When it's done. You guys try that every time. Have you ever gotten that out of us?
Just say me 2010.
When it's done. Wait, when it's done.
Yeah, thanks. You tell me that after in a small dark room.
Yeah, I'll tell you just after when it's done.
All right. Do the artisans give you quests after you gain them?
Currently, no. We could have them do that, but we right now our quest system is fairly story focused, so it focuses on our so pushing them back into the story isn't felt right yet. If there's a place where, as we continue to develop the game, where it feels right to kind of utilize them in the main story, then we will. So we could if we wanted, but we don't currently.
The questions here in this area?
I think he likes that side of the room. What up, Christian?
My question is, will there be any special bonuses if you put gems in some special order? I mean something like a rune system in Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction?
That is a really cool idea. We don't have anything like that in there right now, but it's pretty cool. I'll write it down. I'll chat it up with the designer guys.
Thank you. Florian Samuel Berger, Transworld News. I never played an online game, but please correct me as far as I understood. There are some people who give real money for cyber, whatsoever, I don't want to call it nonsense, to spend the money. We had a press conference today about the security issue in malware. What have you done to improve the security? And have you done anything to, how can I say that, to train the common sense? Because that was mentioned very often, common sense is the best protection. And seemingly common sense and gamer, after what I hear, it's a conflict.
I don't understand the common sense aspect of the question. I do understand the security question part.
They said the best protection for the, as far as I know, you need an account and log in and so on, is common sense.
The best protection.
So when we're talking about games competence, have you done something about that?
Well, security is one of our biggest issues at Blizzard. We spend an enormous amount of resources on it. It's very hard to exactly explain what we've done other than we have a whole division of the company that's dedicated to it. And we probably know more about online security than any game company in the world because we've been doing it since the original Diablo. So several of the programmers on our team came from that division and have worked specifically on our database systems and all of our itemization to make it as secure as possible. So it's a big issue for us, and we put a lot of people on it. That's what we do to keep it secure. So if I had a programmer here, he could probably tell you a lot of stuff that none of us would understand. I'll go to sleep. But we put a lot of energy into security and a lot of people onto it. Does that answer your question?
Yes, probably to train. We're talking about game competence. This is even their own section here at the GamesCom. To make the people aware about the security problems, the security issue. Have you done something in the game that people get informed or get even more aware about it?
In Diablo 3, not to date, but we are not out yet. So it's something we would do a little further down the road. But one of the things we do with some of our other games is mostly authenticators. Like we really push authenticators, we give away authenticators, we encourage everyone to use them. They're a great way to secure your accounts. And we highly encourage them. It's also why we do apps that are authenticators, and they're all free. So it's very easy to get an authenticator if you want one, and if you don't have one on your WoW account or your Battle.net account, I highly encourage it.